What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another Tottenham update. A few bits and pieces to get in through today, and let's start off with the news of the day, and that is Tanguy Ndombele. We've got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and he says Napoli are set to sign Tanguy Ndombele from Tottenham as a fee was agreed days ago. Now deal completed as on personal terms. Medical scheduled on Thursday in Italy. Here we go. €1 million loan fee and a €30 million buy option, and Napoli will cover the main part of the salary. And in terms of the medical, that was also confirmed from Di Marzio today as well. So Ndombele is finally off our books for the coming season. Happy days, huh?
Yeah, and look, it's only a $1 million loan fee, so it's not exactly a massive fee, but that must imply that they're paying decent amount of wages. So if they would go for the option to buy as well, €30 million, I mean, that'd be a fantastic deal, all things considered, considering we're struggling to get rid of him at all, aren't we? So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy he's going to spend the season away from the club, and that's all sorted. And hopefully now we can focus on bring in someone.
Yeah, so now that's 2 down, 2 to go in terms of Lo Celso and Ndombele. We've still got Reguilon to get out the door as well, so, and Harry Winks, obviously. But, you know, how many midfielder rejections until Man United consider Harry Winks for a deal?
No, I don't think they're far off, are they? Honestly. But knowing Winks, he'll probably demand 200 grand a week from this United team.
Probably. All right, so that's Ndombele. He is out the door. Medical due tomorrow in Italy. So looking forward to that. Next up, let's talk about an incoming or a potential incoming in Ruslan Malinovskyi. We had an update from Tutto Atalanta yesterday saying that Tottenham are now in pole position to sign Malinovskyi and are ready to close a deal. Spurs have offered a loan with an option or an obligation to buy. Atalanta are hoping for an immediate sale, and the player has already said yes to Tottenham. And I was reading somewhere, I think it was from the same publication, that Tottenham were alerted to the availability of Malinovskyi after Forest were in talks with him. And then obviously he's had a look at both Forest and Tottenham, and obviously would prefer a move to Tottenham. I look at Malinovskyi. I've seen him play a few times last season, and I've been very impressed every time I've seen him play. He's got a wicked shot on him, a wonder of a left foot, set piece taker as well. And he's also gets many assists every season, so his numbers stack up. And it's interesting that at Atalanta he doesn't actually play. He's not like an out-and-out starter week in, week out, playing 90 minutes week in, week out, which says to me that with the qualities that he has at Tottenham, he would fit in really well as a kind of squad player.
Yeah, and I think that's what we want him for. And I think he's quite versatile as well. He can play on the right, he can play down the centre. He's really got good numbers defensively as well. He's not a liability off the ball. He's a real hard worker, so it would fit right in with Conte's style. He's a creative passer, and he's got a really good long shot in him. He scores quite a few bangers last season. I think
he doesn't score simple goals. He only scores bangers.
He's got a really good left foot.
He's like one of those players.
I think against Juventus, last season, he scored from 40 yards, like a dipping shot. Really good goal, and he has that in him. So I think the only drawback, I guess, he's 29 years of age, so is he one who's going to be hanging around in the long term? Maybe not. But I think he definitely is one that Conte will like at the club. One thing though, a loan deal with an option to buy wouldn't make sense if he's got 1 year left on his contract. So
I don't get that as well.
Yes, I don't really get. Obligation kind of makes sense because it still means that we're paying money. Like they've got that in the bag. But if it's only an option, I don't really understand that. Why they would accept that?
Maybe he's got a year extension on his contract or something like that.
Yeah, it's possible, I guess. But at the moment, he's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
So maybe he has a year extension.
In terms of the crux of the actual deal, I'm not too sure on. But him as a player, I would love to see him through the door. I think he presents good competition for our front line and midfield when we're pushing for a goal later on in the game. And I think his terms of attitude and application will fit in well with the Spurs team and Antonio Conte.
And he adds quality depth.
Yeah.
And that's the crucial thing.
And I think that when you look back to the last Euros, you know, Ukraine were actually pretty good. and he was a central part to that. Him and Zinchenko were really standout performers in the Euros. So he's been a standout performer, albeit in a kind of bit part role for Atalanta, and he was a standout performer in the Euros for Ukraine. So I, for one, would absolutely love this deal to happen.
Yeah, I think 19 starts last season. I think it was in the league. A lot of it was due to injury as well. He had a few injuries, but 6 goals and 5 assists in Serie A, pretty decent. And if you've got that as a squad option, if you've got that kind of quality, then I think that would help the squad. He's got Champions League experience as well with Atalanta, so he knows how to play in that competition.
And we'll know Kuti very well.
He'll know Kuti very well. Maybe Romero suggested him. So I think he's one who I've always liked, but has he had the consistency for Atalanta? Maybe that's one thing that's kept him from being a real star. But I think he definitely is a player with quality, and I think if Conte backs himself to get the best out of him, we could have a very good attacking midfielder on our hands, and I think he fits the profile of what we need.
I completely agree. And if you can bring him in, then it just leaves the centre-back to come in, and then our business looks complete for this window, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But let's talk about Bryan Gil now, as Mate Moretto was talking about him today, and he said, and we brought you the news yesterday that Tottenham have blocked a move for Bryan Gil to leave the club. But today, Mate Moretto is saying that Tottenham want to sign a replacement before letting Bryan Gil leave. So there's still an option for Bryan Gil to leave. And we're thinking that if Malinovskyi comes in, then that will give the green light for Gil to leave.
Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. There's no surprise that maybe the names are hotting up ever since Gil had got an agreement with Valencia. Maybe now we're just waiting to give the green light for that move once we get a replacement. And I think that's what we should be doing in this kind of scenario, especially with Gil. With he's a young age. He's a player who has potential. So I think he's a player who I think you want him around unless you believe you have a better option. And right now we don't. So I'd rather him than nothing. But if we could get someone through the door, then yeah, get him a loan deal, and then maybe he comes back a better player.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how that one pans out. But I actually fully expect this to happen now, Malinovskyi to come in. It seems like a deal that can't be done. Atalanta seem like, they're happy to let go of him because of the contract situation. We're happy to let Gil go on loan, whether it be to Spain or whatever. It looks like, to me, a deal that could easily be done this now.
Yeah, I think so. So let's just hope that we do get the replacement in first, and I think this is all going to happen. So it looks like we've identified a few potentials. I think hopefully there's still some business to be done between now and the end of this window.
And last but not least, let's talk about the sad story of Dele Alli. What a fall from grace this guy is having. It's unbelievable. Before we get into it, well, let's get into it, then we'll talk about it. But reports in Turkey are suggesting that Besiktas is about to sign Dele Alli from Everton on loan with an option to buy. The Mirror are saying that Everton will save 10 million by selling Dele Alli to Besiktas, as the Toffees owed Tottenham 10 million if the midfielder made 20 appearances for them. Sky Sports say that if Everton are to sell Dele Alli, Tottenham would be due 25% of any fee, if that be a permanent deal or a loan fee, due to Dele not reaching 20 appearances for Everton. If we do get 25% of that loan fee, I mean, we're talking about pennies here in terms of in football terms. So look, we're not going to be getting any return on Dele Alli, let's be honest, not as much as we would have wanted anyway. Have you ever seen a player to reach the heights that he reached after his first 100 games in the Premier League? He was better than Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes in terms of stats and all these players. Have you ever seen a player to be at those heights at that age and to such a fall from grace so quickly?
Yeah, he's not even, he's 26 years of age. It's mind-boggling to see how it's fallen off so quickly for Dele Alli, and it's such a shame with the quality and the magical moments he gave everyone earlier in his career, and how it's gone so badly so quickly is sad. And I was hoping he would go back to Everton and maybe the new environment could help him, but in fact I think he's gotten worse than he was at Spurs, which is a massive shame. And I think even the fact that, first of all, you look at the Everton team right now. I look at the team that lined up on Sunday, and he couldn't even get into that team with no Calvert-Lewin, having sold Richarlison, still can't get into that team. That shows the levels, the lack of trust in him right now, and the fact that they want to let him go after 6 months. I mean, that is a statement there. on his application, his quality and attitude, and where he is right now. That's an indictment of Dele Alli. The fact that he's being let go after 6 months and only teams in Turkey are really interested in him. I mean, you have to say Mourinho was absolutely spot on in what he was telling Dele Alli all those years ago.
That I was watching that last night, the conversation between them in the Amazon documentary, and that just. It just hits home after watching that again, because it's just like it's so spot on. And
you could
how many
see,
times we said that with Jose Mourinho over the years, and like in that conversation, like looking back at it now, Dele just didn't care.
You could see he didn't care. You could see it in his face. He was kind of looking like Mourinho, like, all right, I'm just going to kind of take it, and I don't really give a shit about what you're saying. And that's kind of how it's played out. Yeah, exactly. And I think at the moment, a lot of people have been willing, Tottenham fans and obviously other people in football, they're trying to give Dele another chance and so many chances. How many times did Dele at Tottenham, even in the last few years, have a second chance and another chance, and people believed he was going to get back to his best and kept believing and all these different things, and it never ever happened for him. And I think he's only got himself to blame for why it's come to this, and he's going to Turkey.
It's very sad.
You know, and I mean, it just goes to show that Everton are more interested in not paying 10 million for him, which in this day and age is really not a lot of money. They'd rather loan him out or sell him than pay that 10 million and hope that he can recapture his form. That's where he is at the moment. I mean, it's awful for him, and I don't know if at this point there's no point even contemplating him getting back to his best. So I mean, I would say, I do wish him all the best. I hope he can make something what's left of his reputation in career-wise. But at the moment, it's been so long and he's been so bad for so many years now. It's hard. It's difficult to even think that he can get back to his best.
It's such a sad situation. You know, he was such a fan favourite when he was at his top. I mean, the ability he had, what everyone thought he was going to turn into. I mean, everyone was touting him as the next Frank Lampard.
But the thing is as well, when he had all that success early in his career, everyone was saying, let's just hope it doesn't get to his head. That was always a narrative. I remember people kept saying, he's really good, but when you become that good so young, it's easy for everything to get to your head, and you start to believe your own hype. And for a time it was no, he wasn't, because he was consistent for 2-3 years, and you're thinking, okay, this guy is hasn't got to his head, but I think it probably has everything. The celeb lifestyle, the party lifestyle, it seems to have got to his head.
And you're looking at the song that we used to sing for him. You know, he only cost 5 mil. He's better than Ozil. First of all, we didn't make a profit on that 5 mil, which is crazy.
It's crazy to think about. Well, so far, yeah.
Which is crazy to think. We probably won't, let's be honest. And he's better than Ozil, and both of them ending up in Turkey. Which is
incredible. Incredible. With Ozil, actually, they just got released as well.
Yeah.
So... Look, I don't know. Look, even if he does well in Turkey, no one's going to say he's back to his best until he starts doing it again, either in the Premier League or in one of the top 5 leagues. So, I mean, I wish him all the best, but I'm annoyed for him that it's come to a stage where he's getting shipped out by Everton to Turkey. I mean, it should never have come to that.
Just about stayed up last season, by the skin of their teeth.
It's ridiculous.
I mean.
Yeah,
look, he's got to demand more for himself. Exactly what Jose Mourinho said.
Exactly.
And ultimately he's not, and he's paying the price for it. But I'll always remember the good times he gave us, as you know, in that period under Pochettino, because they were magical moments. Yeah, absolutely magical moments. But there you have it. That is our Tottenham update. It's ended on a bit of a bad news, because I feel for Dele, I really do. But what can you do? But let us know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all of the news stories we've brought you today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.